Modern women are exhausted. We're told to be everything all at once. You're expected to excel in school, but also help at home. You're expected to look nice and put together, but don't look vain. You're expected to be social, but don't be a party animal. You're expected to bring husband, but don't be picky. And you're expected to be all of these things without losing your sanity. And at some point, it starts to feel like you're carrying the whole world on your shoulders. And even when you're successfully doing everything laid out for you by the society, you still feel somewhat disconnected from yourself, or you feel empty. That is what Clarissa is talking to us about in Women Who Run with the Wolves. Welcome to the episode 1 of the series, The Path to the Wild Woman. If you want to know what this series is about, that is your cue to check the previous video before this one so you can get the understanding of what we have going on currently. If you have the book with you right now, I did say that we should try as much as possible to get our hands on the book so you can follow as we go. So if you did trust that and you have the book with you, if you open the book, you will see that before the chapter 1 there is an introduction. Naturally, the next thing is to jump into chapter 1. But that is the thing about this book. Every single page seemed to be loaded, which is why I couldn't exactly skip the introduction that was written in the book, even though I had given my sort of introduction. So that's what this episode 1 will be about, breaking down that introduction. Let's be real, most of us were not taught to trust ourselves. We were taught a lot of things, but not how to trust ourselves. We were taught to cook, to clean the house. We were taught how to be humble. We were taught to be quiet. We were taught to be good. We were taught how to please, how to fit in, how to perform. From where I grew up, many of us were taught how to be respectful, how to greet. From school to family to church. If you're a Christian, I don't know how it is done for Muslims. The message is almost the same. Don't be too much. Just be enough, just good enough to do your duties. Do not question, do not stand out. I know if you are African like I am, if your parents ask you to do something, how dare you ask why? They carry the same thing into church, or say maybe it was brought out from church. If they say this is how it is done and you dare ask why, yeah, so you're not expected to ask questions. You're expected to just take it, receive it, be good, do not stand out. And that is why so many of us, that's why so many women feel disconnected. I need you to put something at the back of your mind. That is the title. This introduction basically dissects why woman, why wolves, and why wild woman. This introduction introduces these words, these keywords, and their usage in this book. Clarissa believes healthy wolves and healthy women, they share certain similar characteristics, and that is keen sensing, playful spirit, and a heightened capacity for devotion. She says that wolves and women are relational by nature. She says they are inquiring, they possess great endurance and strength, they are deeply intuitive and intensely concerned with their young ones, their packs, their family. She says that wolves and women, they are experienced in adapting to constantly changing circumstances. They are fiercely stalwart and brave. And this is precisely what society calls too much. So essentially, Clarissa uses wolves as a reminder to us that what society calls too much is really actually our power. It's what we do innately. So now that we have covered why wolves, let's go into why wild. Because naturally, when you hear wild, what comes to your head is wild animal. They're not fit for the house. However, when Clarissa says wild, she does not mean that. She does not mean reckless. She does not mean bad. She means natural. I'm going to need you to do me a favor. Go check the dictionary and check what wild means and put it in the comment section. Let me know what you see. But Clarissa, she is saying that wild does not mean reckless. It means natural. The wild woman archetype is about remembering who you are at your core, not what society tells you to be, the right way to be. That's the thing. There is no right way to be. We are humans. You're not a product that, oh, there's just, it was made for one thing and one thing only. You are human, you're dynamic. There's no one way to be. To be is determined by you and nobody else. Now that we've been able to talk about the keywords, why wild woman? Why do we need to be connected to this wild woman archetype? The wild woman helps you discover who you are, gives you the guts to be who you are, and gives you the gut again to pursue the things or the goals that you have envisioned for yourself. Now think about the opposite of all of what I've just said. That is what would happen if you are disconnected from the wild woman. There's went on to describe the symptoms of being disconnected from the wild woman. She described things like fatigue, self-doubt, fear of speaking up, or constantly giving away your energy to others. And we see this around us every time. We see this in women around us every time. Women who are capable but stuck, women who are hardworking but undervalued, women who are gifted but silent. Reconnecting with the wild woman changes that. It means trusting your instincts whenever circumstances or situation calls for it. There's a saying that I very much like that I use and I say to people a lot as well when we get into conversations like that. It says that the version of you that you need to deal with a certain thing or to deal with a certain circumstance will occur, will be born when it's needed. Essentially, what this tells you that the you that needs to deal with that particular situation will be born when it is needed. And you can only do that when you already trust your instincts, when you don't always doubt yourself, when you're reconnected or connected with the wild woman. So to lead us to the wild woman, Clarissa used stories. Why did she choose to use stories? Stories is not just for entertainment. Stories are being used to push ideas every day, and they affect everything we do, consciously or subconsciously. Our movies, they are stories. Hollywood, Bollywood, they are stories. They're trying to push equality, racial equality. They do that through stories. They include it in their movies. They include it in the stories. All of what is in our holy books are stories. And look at how much effect it has had in our society. So many countries, several countries, have their laws founded on these holy books. That is the power of stories. I cannot overemphasize how much of who I am I hold to books, to stories. And this is precisely why some societies today ban women from reading. The best of stories carry lessons about resilience, about courage, about bravery, about guts, about danger. Stories are mapped. They nourish us when we are drained. Apart from the fact that they are good entertainment, they also nourish us. They remind us of truth that we've forgotten, and they give us language for experiences that we cannot explain. Clarissa calls them the soul vitamins, and this is how Clarissa aims to lead us to the wild woman. Now, it's important to state that the wild woman is not something distant. We're not looking for a god that is outside of ourselves. We're not looking for anything in the sky or under the ground. The wild woman is already inside of you. We just need to connect with her. It's very important that I mention that. And the journey we're taking is like going inside of ourselves, to the core of ourselves. She is the person that shows up when you say no to something that drains you or something you just don't want to do. She is that you that creates something because it feels good. Or she's that you that creates something that you know is of value, or just because you choose to create it. She's that you that shows up when you trust your gut, even though it doesn't make sense to other people. And the important part is that she belongs to all women, whether you are 18 or you are 80, whether you are black, red, green, purple, whatever race you belong to, wherever you're from. You are Yoruba, you're Chinese, you are American, you are Kenyan, you are Mauritian, whoever you are, wherever you come from, you're short, you're tall, you're fat, you're thin, like me. You're small, you're huge. Whoever you are, she's you. She's inside you. Regardless of your job, what you do for a living, you're a spicy worker, you're a lawyer, you're a teacher. Whatever you do, she belongs to you. She is you. Whatever your relationship status is, you're single, you are in a situationship, you are married, you're divorced. It really doesn't matter, because at the core of all of those things, you are first a woman. So therefore, she is you. She belongs to you. So that is what this book will be about, reconnecting to that part of you that you are disconnected from, the wild woman archetype. Now we have described all the keywords. I have introduced you to the wolves. I've introduced you to the wild woman. I have told you what Clarissa said would happen if we are disconnected from the wild woman, and who we could be when we are connected to the wild woman. With all of these descriptions that we have done, do you think you are currently connected to your wild woman, or do you think you're disconnected from your wild woman? Drop it in the comment section and let me know what you think. And of course, like I have been saying, it starts with a story, a very interesting story, because we're going to be meeting a crucial person, a woman that has always been scary, but she shouldn't have been scary after all. We are going to be meeting that woman in the next video, and we're going to be picking bones. So if you want to know what all of that is about, I suggest that you put on your notification so that you can be notified when the episode 2 drops. Like, share as always, and see you in the next video.